All right, hello everyone and welcome. Please give us a couple more seconds. We're going to be starting shortly. Thank you. All right, hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you for attending our career fair. We want to acknowledge veterans and veteran supporters who are in attendance. To all the veterans here today, thank you for your service. My name is Susanna Orozco. I am a talent acquisition manager here at the CTA. I've been employed with the CTA for a little over 7 years. Before we get started, I do want to cover a few housekeeping items. We do ask all attendees to be muted for the duration of this event. Subtitles are enabled and can turn on by clicking the closed captioning button at the bottom of the screen. Also, please remember to submit your questions using the Q&A feature located at the bottom. All right, so today's presentation will include an overview of our recruitment process. We will also give you information on VERG. And for those that do not know what VERG stands for, it's our Veteran Employee Resource Group. Towards the end, we will give you an opportunity, like I mentioned, to ask questions during our Q&A. Other veteran presenters will be joining us towards the end. They'll introduce themselves and also assist with answering questions. All right, so without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Tamika Singleton.
Thank you, Susanna. And good morning, everybody. My name is Tamika L. Singleton, and I serve as a talent acquisition specialist for the Chicago Transit Authority. I have an extensive background, having proudly served in both the United States Marine Corps and the United States Army. Throughout my military career, I undertook a variety of roles and taken part in deployment supporting Operation Iraqi Freedom and New Dawn. I retired from the Army in 2018. Next slide. Mission. Our mission is to deliver quality, affordable transit services that link people, jobs, and communities. This mission statement highlights the importance of making opportunities accessible for our communities. As a talent acquisition specialist, I connect individuals with jobs that match these goals every day. Additionally, the collaborative environment and commitment to innovation at CTA motivates me to grow professionally while contributing to an essential service that benefits so many. Next slide. CTA overview. The Chicago Transit Authority is one of the largest transit agencies in the United States, serving the city of Chicago and 35 surrounding suburbs. With a workforce of approximately 10,000 employees, we are proud to provide public transportation to millions of riders each year. The CTA operates 130 extensive network of bus routes that span the city and suburban areas. In addition to buses, CTA have 8 rail lines that provide service to multiple locations throughout the city. Our headquarters is located at 567 West Lake Street. We operate 7 facilities dedicated to the maintenance and support of our bus fleet, and we have 9 rail terminals that provide safe and efficient rail services for our passengers. Next slide. Diversity at CTA. CTA is a diverse organization where we employ individuals from nearly every neighborhood and zip code in Chicago. Currently, our organization is led by President Dorval Carter, who is our first African-American president and strong advocate for transit equity in our city. At CTA, we prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity. Our Diversity Task Force and Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Council provide guidance on initiatives that celebrate diversity and educate CTA employees on fostering more equitable and exclusive engagement in the workplace. Equity. We aim to ensure that safe, reliable transit services and career opportunities at CTA are accessible to everyone. In compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act regulations, we make certain that our facilities and vehicles are accessible to individuals with disabilities. Additionally, we also make sure that anyone who requires an accommodation during the application or in their workplace are able to request needs-based accommodations. Inclusion. CTA is committed to being a place where everyone feels a sense of belonging. Our Equal Employment Opportunity Unit hosts ongoing company-wide discussions on diversity and inclusion for employees at all levels of the organization. Our Veteran Employee Resource Group, VERGE, at CTA is dedicated in supporting and connecting veterans within the organization. It provides a platform for veterans to network, share experiences, and receive resources that promote their personal and professional growth. VERGE plays an essential role in ensuring veterans feel valued and included, while also fostering a sense of community. Recently, the VERGE and our infrastructure department participated in this year's Habitat for Humanity Veterans Build program, which built a deck and garden beds for a veteran in the Chicagoland area. While we take pride in diversity at CTA, we recognize that there's always more to be done to enhance our diverse, equitable, and exclusive workplace. That's why we continue to partner with various organizations to attract individuals with diverse backgrounds and perspectives, which is essential for our growth and development as an organization. Next slide. CTA careers. The Chicago Transit Authority offers a wide range of career opportunities available across all areas of the agency, from entry level to management positions. Our employees are part of 6 significant lines of business: operations and maintenance, infrastructure, administration, law, and technology. Next slide. Operations and maintenance. Bus operations. Our operations department is the largest, with approximately 8,000 employees. Our operations employees are often seen as the face of CTA. CTA operates an extensive bus network that covers various routes throughout the city and suburb, carried out by our skilled bus operators who help keep the city of Chicago moving. Control Center. Our control center serves as the nerve center for managing and overseeing the operations of buses and trains throughout the transit system. This centralized hub is paramount in ensuring the safety, efficiency, and dependability of CTA services. Bus maintenance. Certainly, within the Chicago Transit Authority, the bus maintenance department has various roles, including bus mechanics, bus servicers, and managers, who are vital for ensuring that CTA buses are well maintained, safe, and operational. This department is indispensable because it ensures the safety, reliability, and cleanliness of Chicago's public transportation system. Rail operations and rail station management. The RO and the RSM operates an extensive rail system known as the L, short for elevated, which includes several lines serving various parts of the city and surrounding areas. Certainly, within rail operations and rail station management, the various roles listed are necessary for the efficient functioning of the transit system. You might be wondering which military positions are equivalent to some of the CTA roles that I described thus far. Let's explore a few examples. Bus operator. So in the United States Army, this role corresponds to the military occupational specialty 88 MIC, which is for motor transport operators. For the U.S. Marine Corps, the equivalent is MOS 3531, also known as motor vehicle operators. Maintenance and repair of vehicles. In the Air Force, the MOS 2 Tango 3X Ray 1 pertains to generation vehicular equipment maintenance. The Navy has a similar role with the MM standing for Maintenance Mate designation. Both of these MOS are comparable to the duties of a bus mechanic for the Chicago Transit Authority. Depending on the specifics of the job that CTA is looking to fill, various military occupational specialties in the Signal Corps of the U.S. Army may meet roles requirements. For example, a network communication system specialist 25 hotel is responsible for installing, operating, and maintaining network systems, while a radio operator maintainer 25 Charlie maintains essential signal support systems and terminal devices. Next slide. Infrastructure. Infrastructure provides support to ongoing capital projects that involve all areas from craft and trades to civil engineers to project managers. They maintain all our facilities and help with the general upkeep of transit stations across the city. Infrastructure is indeed divided into several departments to manage various aspects of its operations efficiently. Power and Way is responsible for the power supply systems that provide electricity to trains, including electrified third rails or overhead lines. This department also oversees the maintenance and safety of tracks, switches, and other rail infrastructure. Construction. The construction department handles significant construction projects related to expanding or improving CTA's infrastructure, which includes building new stations, renovating existing ones, and working on track extensions or upgrades. Engineering. The engineering department is involved in designing, planning, and overseeing the implementation of various infrastructure projects. Engineers work on new construction projects and maintenance and improvement of existing transit facilities. Facility maintenance focuses on maintaining transit facilities, including bus and train stations, depots, maintenance garages, and administrative buildings. They ensure these spaces are clean, safe, and well-maintained for passengers, staff, and equipment. Within infrastructure, as you can see, there are a diverse set of roles, from track workers and project managers to electricians and signal maintainers. For the role of a track worker, you will be responsible to perform such tasks as track maintenance, construction, and equipment operations. Track workers work outdoors, often in challenging weather conditions, and collaborate closely with a team to uphold safety protocol, complete repairs, and respond to emergencies. The track worker will closely resemble the railway section repairer 88 Tango in the U.S. Army, who maintains and repairs railway systems. As a senior project manager in construction safety policy, some primary responsibilities you may have will be to review, interpret it, and ensure compliance with safety regulations, directives, and procedures related to construction activities, to include policy development and review, and safety audits and inspections. Next slide. Administration. Administration positions are essential for ensuring that an organization operates smoothly, similar to how military administrative specialists maintain the operational integrity of their units. Our organizations have various departments, including finance, safety, human resources, and training and planning. Like their military counterparts, these administrative personnel guarantee the operational functions within their areas are effectively managed. All six branches of the armed forces have administrative support roles, such as human resources assistants, budgets analysts, acquisition manager, and public affairs specialists. Job titles may vary across each branch of service. Next slide. Technology. Our technology team delivers innovative, quality, and reliable technology solutions that focus on advancing CTA's mission while connecting its riding public and enhancing ridership experience. Enterprise application. The enterprise application team is responsible for managing and overseeing the technology solutions and applications used across various departments within the organization. This department focuses on leveraging enterprise level software and systems to enhance efficiency, improve operations, and provide better services for both employees and passengers. Transit system support provides support to our major transit system projects, such as our LED bus tracker signs and systems that allow us to locate specific vehicles within our garages. Control center support is most critical to the bus and rail systems because they help our staff do things like track rail power and monitor alarms. Also, CCS view train schedules, run intervals, and communicate with bus operators to report incidents that occur. IT support and telecom services team ensure the efficient operation of voice, data, and wireless networks while providing comprehensive support and guidance for current and future communication needs. Next slide. Law. The attorneys at the CTA handle a variety of legal disciplines to ensure that the authority operations remain legally sound and protected. The department actively manages lawsuits, defending the CTA in commercial disputes, and pursuing claims as necessary. The general counsel leads the department and provide guidance on complex legal issues facing the CTA, similar to how senior military legal officers oversee legal matters in the JAG, standing for JAG Advocate General Corps. Next slide. CTA opportunities. To find the most up-to-date information on job opportunities with the Chicago Transit Authority, you can visit our career portal at the website here on the slide. New job opportunities are posted every Friday, and most job posting expires within 14 days and will come down that Friday. So it's imperative that you apply as soon as possible. On our career portal, you will be provided with information about the position, the expiration date, and for the majority of positions, the salary will be posted. Also located on our career portal are upcoming job opportunities. As an FYI, job postings are based on personnel needs and budget, and therefore subject to change. Next slide. Military occupational specialty. Located on our Veteran Hiring Initiative page at the website listed on the slide, candidates will see CTA jobs currently matched to military occupational specialty codes from various branches of the armed forces. This list is continuously updated to reflect the most up-to-date job descriptions. Next slide. Hiring process. The hiring process consists of several stages: submitting your application, interviewing, conducting a background check, and completing a medical examination. Depending on the role, the process may also include an exam or assessment. Generally, the average timeline takes 4 to 6 weeks, but in some cases, it may take longer, depending on the specific position or the volume of applications. Next slide. How to apply. All applicants must apply online through the CTA career site shown on the slide. Select the right box. Blue boxes are for new candidates or former employees, while the red boxes are for current CTA employees. Create and complete your profile. So ensure that all sections of your profile are filled out accurately and thoroughly. It's important that your profile is fully saved before moving on to the next step. Double check that you have saved all the information in your profile before submitting. Submit a resume. Resume submission is critical, as applicants can be rejected if they do not submit a proper resume for the job that they are applying for. And set up job alerts so that you are notified when positions in your selected category becomes available. This will help you stay on top of opportunities that match your skills and interests. Lastly, before leaving the profile, Be sure to indicate that you are a veteran. Next slide. Application tips. So understanding the military unique culture can be challenging for many. Here are some application tips that will help you during your job search. So translating military skills to civilian terms. So clearly articulate your military experience so that a hiring manager can easily understand it. Use civilian language to describe your skills and accomplishments. Avoid military jargon and spell out acronyms. For example, instead of saying led a 12-person combat infantry team through 6 successful missions, try manage a 12-person team in a fast-paced environment while meeting all organizational goals. Another example, instead of serve as a platoon sergeant for Bravo Battery, you can say supervise 35 team members and successfully train them on organizational tasks. Additionally, ensure your resume highlight relevant skills and experiences that align with the job you're applying for. Focus on accomplishments, leadership roles, and any transferable skills that are applicable to the position. Next slide. Testing. Some jobs may require testing as part of the hiring process. This type of test will vary depending on the position. Types of testing we have are written, online, knowledge-based, skills-based, or practical tests. For positions like a bus mechanic, both written and practical exams are required. Some positions may require only a written exam or only a practical, depending on the nature of the job, while others need both. Test results will typically be emailed to you within 7 to 10 business days. It's important to check your emails regularly for any updates on your results. Next slide. Phone and video interviews. Sometimes a candidate may be required to participate in a phone interview, which helps us evaluate a candidate's qualification more efficiently. Phone interviews last approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Video interviews will be conducted via Zoom, and all positions will involve at least one video interview with a HR representative and a department manager. Generally, these interviews last between 30 to 45 minutes. Our focus during these interviews will be on your work history, education, and skills. When responding to behavioral-based questions, use the STAR method to structure your responses. STAR standing for situation, task, action, and result. Next slide. Interview tips. Understand the role before you interview. Carefully review the job description to understand the key responsibilities and qualifications for the position. Identify relevant experience. Think about how your skills and past experiences match the requirements listed in the job descriptions. Be prepared to discuss specific examples of how you handled similar tasks or challenges in previous roles. Log into the interview platform early, at least 10 to 15 minutes prior, to ensure your internet connection, camera, and microphone are working properly. This helps to avoid last-minute technical issues. Also check that your lighting is good so you are clearly visible. Set up a quiet interview space, free from interruptions or background noise. If possible, let others know you'll be in the interview so you won't be disturbed. Use a professional background. Ideally, something that is neutral, like a blank wall or a tidy professional environment. First impressions matter, so dress for success. Wear professional interview attire, even if the interview is virtual. Your appearance is an important part of your presentation, so dress as you would for an in-person interview. Present yourself with a polite and professional attitude. Greet the interviewer warmly, thank them for their time, and listen attentively to their questions. Be mindful of your body language. Sit up straight, maintain eye contact by looking at the camera, and avoid fidgeting. Answer questions clearly and concisely. When asked about your experience, provide clear, specific examples that demonstrates your skills and accomplishments. Next slide. Pre-employment. To assure the accuracy of the information you provided and to comply with industry regulations, you will have to undergo several pre-employment steps. This includes a background check, medical examination, and fatigue and sleep apnea awareness training. These procedures are standard in hiring process for many positions and are designed to ensure the safety, compliance, and qualification of potential employees. Next slide. Hiring process timeline. This slide shows our hiring process timeline. So when you're ready to apply for a position, here's how you will see the process go. Application. Step 1, the application. Apply online to complete your profile and upload your resume. Testing. If applicable, follow the instructions that are emailed to you to take an online assessment or schedule yourself for the testing invite that was sent. Interview. Recruiters will contact eligible candidates to schedule interviews. This step usually takes place 1 to 2 weeks after testing. Offer. Your recruiter will contact you with an offer once that final determination has been made. Pre-hire. Background check, physical, drug screening. This part of the process, you will complete your pre-employment documentation, and this will be held at our headquarters. During this stage, you will go through your medical and a background check. Generally, this step can take on average 4 to 6 weeks. Fatigue training, if applicable to this position, for the position. However, ensure to submit any outstanding documentation requested by the HR specialist or your talent acquisition specialist. Attend the new employee orientation, also known as NEO. During the orientation, you will learn about the Chicago Transit Authority. Our new employee orientation will be held at our headquarters. You'll be notified via email regarding all logistic information for this event. If you don't receive the email the Friday prior to the start of NEO, it's imperative you contact your recruiter before COB, preferably before 3 p.m. for assistance. Next slide. Benefits. Here's a combination of benefits and initiatives that CTA has in place to support its employees. CTA continuously work to help veterans transition successfully into civilian life and build rewarding careers. These efforts demonstrate CTA's commitment to supporting veterans in the workplace and recognizing the valuable contribution they bring to the organization. Next slide. Are you ready to apply? If so, please visit our career portal and also check out our Veteran Initiative website for more information. Ensure you fill out your profile completely. Set up any profile alerts for job categories. Also, very important, upload a resume. Applicants can get rejected without a proper resume. Also, however, there's no need to fill out another application if you have already done so. And lastly, any questions, submit them via the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. For application assistance or questions, contact us at veterans@transitchicago.com. Again, that email address is veteran@transitchicago.com. Thank you. I do appreciate your time. Now I'll turn it over to Susanna.
All right, Tamika, thank you so much for that information. Now I would like our members of VERG to introduce themselves, and I'm going to turn it over to Frank Gresick.
Morning, everybody, or afternoon, depending upon where you're at. My name is Frank Gresick. I'm the General Manager for Occupational Safety and Environmental Compliance. I am a retired Command Sergeant Major out of the United States Army and approximately 29 years of service. And I am currently the chairperson for the Veterans Employee Resource Group. Welcome.
All right, thank you, Frank. Now I'm going to turn it over to Dan Tinsley.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dan Tinsley. I am the Deputy Chief Engineer for the Red Line Extension Program. I'm also a 9-year Army veteran and a member of our Veteran Employee Resource Group's Planning Committee.
All right, thank you, Dan. And then lastly, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica Jordan.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Jordan. I'm the Senior Administration Manager for the Bus Maintenance and Rail Maintenance Department. I am a 8-year Army veteran as well. And I'm a member of the VERT group as well.
All right, thank you, Jessica. All right, so now we are going to move forward with our Q&A, and then we can go to the next slide. All right, so one of the questions that we received through our Q&A today is, are CTA positions just for veterans? So although we did highlight veterans today, everyone is welcome to apply to our opportunities. So veteran and non-veteran applicants. All right, so our next question, what does the Veteran Employee Resource Group do? And I'll turn it over to Frank.
Sorry, was having trouble getting myself off mute. So the Veteran Employee Resource Group is a group of individuals that get together to provide, just like it says, resources to the veterans. There's a lot of different activities that take place with the Veteran Employee Resource Group. As already mentioned earlier today, one of our fourth quarter service projects was the Veteran Build. The other fourth quarter service project would be a Toys for Tot campaign, where we have boxes for Toys for Tots in every one of our locations. So folks can participate if they so choose to provide toys for those children that cannot afford to get a toy. We also provide information for our veterans, and we assist them in any issues that they may have in navigating through the system and finding the right people to help them with whatever issue they may have, whether that's a pay issue when they're performing military service as a reservist, or getting them to the right place in one of our outside organizations. There's a variety of other activities that take place throughout the year. We have our veteran softball tournament every year that the Road Home puts on for different veteran organizations throughout the city of Chicago. We've participated in that for the last several years. There's a variety of other activities we've done as far as cleanup activities, going to different places. The Hall House was one time we went to the Hall House to clean that area up and that. And so basically we're a resource both within the Chicago Transit Authority and outside the Chicago Transit Authority. And we do our best to direct those veterans with needs to the proper places that would fulfill those needs.
All right, thank you, Frank, for that information. All right, we can view the next question. All right, so how did your military experience prepare you for a career at the CTA? And I'm going to turn that question over to Jessica Jordan.
That's back answer. So I was a diesel technician in the U.S. Army, and then it kind of came full circle coming to the Chicago Transit Authority because I just wanted to come and be a mechanic, be my aide, skate. But CTA apparently had a different plan for me because I ended up going directly into management and then going to be a maintenance manager in bus maintenance and rail maintenance department and rail ops and rail station management. So the things I learned in the military was, one, to be a team player, working with others to get the job done. And here at the authority, all of the departments here at the Chicago Transit Authority work together to provide this service to our customers. If we didn't work together every day diligently to get those things done, we wouldn't be able to provide service as well as we do, to be able to reach out to customers, to be able to reach out to those that are in neighborhoods or just reach out to those that don't have transportation, such as a personal vehicle to get around, but they use our trains and our buses to get to their first day of school, to their doctor's appointments, to even their first dates. So I I can say that was the biggest takeaway from that. And then learning to think on my feet as well, because things move very quickly here at the authority, no matter what department you're in. And just being able to make a decision, stand behind it confidently, that's helped me succeed here at the authority.
All right, thank you, Jessica. All right, can we view the next question? All right, so what, in your opinion, are the top reasons a veteran should consider a career at the CTA? And I'll turn that question over to Dan.
So I would say the benefits and support available to veterans. And when you're in the military, you have things like, I'm not sure what it's called for every service, but in the Army, it was Army One Source. It was a phone number that you could call for anything that you want. CTA has something just like that called the Employee Assistance Program. Single phone number you call if you are having financial troubles, if you're having relationship problems, anything, you can call that. You can get the help that you need. It's a free service for all CTA employees. So it's a huge benefit that we get that's accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Another great benefit for veterans is if you're within a year of leaving the service, you qualify for a bridge of vacation allowance, which can really increase the amount of vacation that you get and put you ahead of other new hires as far as your vacation seniority goes, even if you're in a union position. Then we have our set holidays. The vacation policy is a very good one, similar to the military, where you can get up to 30 days of vacation at a time. Here at CTA, where it's just working days that you have to take off, and you can max out at 5 weeks a year of vacation, so that's quite a bit. And then there's the camaraderie that everybody at CTA has. Treat you like family, take care of you, especially the Veteran Employee Resource Group. We're there for each other. We're constantly talking to each other and helping each other out. And then also providing service to the community. You get to continue your service. A lot of people enter the military because they want to be a service to their country. Now you can leave the military and still be a service to your community and enjoy the work that you're doing.
All right, thank you, Dan, for that information. And can we view the next question? All right, so what is something you think other veterans would be surprised to hear about working at the CTA? And I'll turn that question over to Frank.
So the CTA, you would be surprised that it is very similar to how the military is. It's a very inclusive environment. It's has the same structure that one would be accustomed to in the military. It has certainly a hierarchy and fixing things at its lowest level, for those that would understand a squad leader or a team leader, a squad leader, a platoon sergeant. And as you move through that, it's very structured in that manner. You'd be surprised that the pride, I guess you wouldn't be surprised, but one of the things that is there is the pride that one has with whatever branch of the military you come from. And I know the Marines, I'm an Army person, but I know the Marines think they're the best and all of that, but we have that same sense here within the Chicago Transit Authority. Each one of the departments takes a lot of pride in what they do. Each one of the departments wants to be the best that they can be. And the level of cooperation and camaraderie across different departments and within the departments is very, very similar to what one would find in the military. as well as that healthy competition between different branches of service. So that's what I probably would say would be a surprise that veterans would know about the CTA.
All right, thank you, Frank. And can we view the next question? All right, so what additional tips do you have for veterans who are applying to CTA jobs? And I'll turn that question over to Jessica.
I would say that when reading the job description, and this is for veterans or non-veterans, read it in its entirety. A lot of the times that people see the qualifications and naturally assume that they don't qualify because it may just say instantly. I've seen this with a lot of candidates. They'll see that it'll say a bachelor's degree, but then there's a small little section next to it that'll say and or relatable experience. So a lot of your military experience or just for non-veterans, previous professional experience does translate well, and it may translate well into that role. So if you've done 4 years, 5 years, how many ever amount of years in the military, and it's relatable to maintenance, for example, that could qualify you for one of those management roles or senior management roles, or just even our heavy bus and truck mechanic roles or any role here. So I would encourage you to just take time, read it in its entirety, and then look to make sure that you're not opting yourself out of a position that you could potentially be in the future.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And then how will CTA know that I'm a veteran? And I'll turn that over to Tamika.
I'm sorry, Suzanne. I think Dan had you had a response, Dan?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what Jessica said on that last one. I mean, for military personnel, if you've been through any leadership courses, that is something to highlight. There is a lot of value in the military leadership courses and how those translate to management positions here at CTA. So don't be afraid to mention that you've been through advanced leadership courses, basic leadership courses in the military. Those are very important things to key up when you're doing your interview and highlight in your resume if you're going for a management or administrative position.
All right, thank you, Dan. And then Tamika, how will CTA know that I'm a veteran?
Yes, very, very simple. Include that information on your resume and also indicate that information on the CTA profile you create.
And then really quickly, so if you are a veteran applicant, like Tamika said, once you indicate that on your application, when we are reviewing resumes, our system would notify us that you are a veteran. So it's really important if you are, you answer that question correctly. All right, next question, please. All right.
Hey, can I jump in there for a second? This
yes.
is Frank again. So to that point about identifying yourself as a veteran, I don't know, we've had 4 or 5 veteran hiring workshops for our management team. So it's similar to what we're talking about here, but we've identified to the management, to the hiring managers, how it is that you can identify a veteran, what some of the jargon is that the veterans use. So that coupled with you identifying that, now all managers know what to look for, and you're identified to that hiring manager. And that's something that the Veteran Employee Resource Group was very instrumental in with HR in getting that put into in just recent years. So I think that it really needs to be highlighted that HR has worked with us to make sure that you are recognized as a veteran, and the management team understands what a veteran can provide for the Chicago Transit Authority.
Thank you, Frank. And our next question is a CDL required for CTA jobs? And I'll turn this question over to Tamika.
So thank you, Susanna. So some positions at CTA will require a CDL. This requirement will be specified in the job description. So from bus mechanic, bus operator, of course, and bus servicer. So if it's required, definitely read that job description so to ensure that you're in compliance.
And that's correct. You want to make sure that you pay attention to the job description because each job description is going to show the requirements, right? So the position does require a CDL. You will need to be responsible for at least obtaining a CDL permit. All right, next question, please. All right, so how can I find out what jobs I qualify for based on my previous military experience? And I'll turn that over to Tamika.
Right. So if you're interested in exploring job opportunities with the Chicago Transit Authority, I recommend that you visit the CTA careers page. From there, you can click on hiring initiatives, the hiring initiative tab, and then navigate to the veteran hiring initiative link to view the most up-to-date job descriptions and opportunities to tailor, for veterans. It's important to note also that if you choose not to pursue a career that's directly related to what was your military background in the civilian sector, that's completely fine. There's no problem with that. The key importance to this is to ensure that you highlight your relevant work experience that you gained throughout your career, as this will help strengthen your resume and also demonstrate the valuable skills that you bring to the table.
All right, thank you, Tamika. Next question, please. All right, so what are some obstacles veterans face when seeking employment, and what does CTA do to address those? So, Frank, we're gonna turn this question over to you.
Okay, let me read that. What are some obstacles veterans face when seeking employment? What does CTA do to address those? I'm not sure that there's really obstacles. I believe in today's day and age, some of the perceived obstacles that veterans faced have been eliminated or people understand. I know that in the past, there's been some concern for veterans, but I don't believe that to be the case here. I don't believe that to be the case anymore throughout the United States, but it's certainly not the case here. Some of the obstacles veterans may think that are obstacles is their disability status. Myself, I'm 80% disabled as far as the veterans go, but it doesn't impact my ability to perform my job here. Additionally, if one is still performing service in a reserve capacity, folks think that's an obstacle. It isn't here. We have a very good program for that. Our HR team, our management team understands that. We welcome that because of all the other things that veterans bring to the table with their military experiences. So I would be forthcoming and address those and ask if you have any concerns, simply ask those questions somewhere throughout the interviewing process. I hope that helps answer it.
All right, thank you. I believe, Jessica, you raised your hand.
To piggyback on what Frank said, it's not, like you said, it's not necessarily a big obstacle, but I have in doing a significant amount of interviews, there have been some candidates that I've interviewed that have been active duty at the time that they have conducted their interview, and then they're transitioning where they're ending their military career. I would say don't let that deter you as well. Like Frank said, ask questions, because our hiring process, as our HR team has mentioned, it can be pretty lengthy at times, and you may run into it where you do have enough time to transition from your military career into a role here at the authority. So again, just ask those questions. And then for those that have served in more significant roles or higher ranking roles here, sometimes people feel that, again, their experience may not translate. Just apply, because you're taking that chance away from yourself. Some things may not translate as exactly when candidates do use certain military jargon, but again, we do have a wonderful HR team here who again highlights that you're a veteran, and then they take the resume review process they take their time, and it's very detailed. Myself being a hiring manager and also a veteran, I take time to address those things and reach out to other hiring managers within the departments that I oversee to say, hey, we should take a second look at this because this will translate or this may translate. And even if the role that you do want, that you feel it could be a vice president, a general manager, or something of that nature. You may not come in as that from the beginning, but you could easily translate into another role and then definitely work into that higher position as you move through your career at CTA. Because I myself did the same thing, started something entry level. 9 months later was in management, and it was from there. So please keep that in mind when you are applying for positions.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And then Dan?
So I would add to what Jessica and Frank said is people that are transitioning out of the military, CTA's hiring process is long, and do not be afraid to mention what your end of service date is. For a lot of the hiring managers, we spend a lot of time and effort getting the positions filled, and to delay that by a month is not as detrimental to the department as having to go out and repost the position. So if you are qualified and you're selected, you get that pre-selection email from HR saying, you know, you've been selected for this position, we're offering you the job. Be upfront right there and say, I would love to accept the job, but I'm transitioning out of the military on such and such date, and I have vacation planned, and so the earliest I could start is this date. And they will go back to the hiring manager and say, is this acceptable? And for most of the time, that hiring manager is going to say, yes, I can accept that start date. So don't be afraid to say, I need to push out the start date. It does not need to be we're accepting this position and we expect you to start next week. CTA does not work like that.
All right, thank you, Dan. And then one question we received previously is, how do I know what opportunities are available at the CTA? So like Tamika mentioned earlier today, all of our career opportunities as well as internship opportunities are posted on our career site. So that's ctacareers@transitchicago.com. So please keep in mind, in order for you to be considered for an opportunity at the CTA, you have to apply. Okay, you have to apply. You cannot be considered for an opportunity if you did not submit an application. And something Tamika mentioned too, a lot of our positions are posted for a duration of 2 weeks. It's very important if you are seeking employment or even as an internal employee, right? You're looking for other opportunities to visit our career website. So every single Friday, we do post new opportunities to our site. And like Tamika mentioned, information such as salary, the day that the job posting is coming down, all that information is listed there. If you click on the position, it'll take you to the job description. It'll give you more information in regards to the requirements, all of that. But it's super important if you are interested and you feel that you're minimally qualified for a job that you apply, because you don't want to wait until last minute you know, you have technical issues and the application doesn't go through, right? So it's super important that you apply before the posting comes down. All right. And let me see if we have more questions. One moment, please. All right, so do veterans need to test for roles? So like Tamika mentioned, a lot of our positions, or when you, a lot of our positions at CTA require some sort of testing, whether it's a written test, practical, or combination of both, but not all positions require testing. And testing will be applicable to all applicants, right? Whether you're a veteran applicant or non-veteran. So yes, everyone, if the position does require testing, it is a requirement for you to complete that and then successfully pass. All right, and then can we go to the next slide? All right, so we are coming to a conclusion. We do want to thank everyone for joining us today. We also want to thank our VERG members for your participation, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And then Tamika, you're raising your hand.
Yes, Ms. Jordan has a question.
Well, it's not so much of a question. It is a takeaway that I like to give candidates, potential employees that will come here. I know that when you're looking at different organizations, a lot of people try to reach out and say, hey, come and join us. But the one takeaway that I would like you guys to keep when you think of the Chicago Transit Authority is that coming here, you get a chance to become part of something bigger than yourselves. To be honest, you get to be a part of a team. Me, myself, not being from Illinois or from Chicago at all. Similar to the military, I met some long-term friends that I'm still friends with to this day. And then being here almost 12 years, I met some of my closest friends who I've been friends, I'm still friends with to this day because of joining this organization. So when you think about it, keep that in mind. It's a bigger picture here, and it's not just for what we do for our customers, but it's what we do for our internal customers, which are everyone on this panel, and then you guys if you decide to become employees here at the. Thank you,
Yeah.
Susanna and Tamika.
And if I could add to that, the work that we do here at the CTA is very impactful for the city of Chicago and surrounding suburbs. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us today. We hope you received good information. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.